guys, welcome to Mike's Guitar Workshop. 3D printers are great, eh? I just printed myself this 16-inch radiusing block that we're going to be using on this Les Paul, Ibanez Les Paul. This is a 74 and it's generally in quite good shape, but there are some issues. The fretboard has delaminated from the neck just in the front here. The tuners are completely trashed, so they need to be replaced. There are some cracks in the paintwork, but the top itself is in great condition. It's going to be in two parts. The one we're going to just do the refret work, which is quite a procedure, and in the second part of the video we will do the refinishing. So if you're not interested in refret, you can just skip to the next video, which will be up soon, and then we'll take it from there. But yeah, let's get cracking. Right, so the first thing I do is I apply some little bit of water with an earbud, and then I come with some solder just to heat up the fret, and as soon as the water bubbles, then you know that you've reached the depth of the tang, and then it should be good to pull. As you can see, I'm having a bit of a hard time because the frets are so flat that there's not much grip for the fret pullers. In fact, most of the frets were so low that I had to come in with a chisel just to get underneath the fret, just to lift the edge slightly. Once the edge is lifted, then you can come with your fret pullers again. Here I'm applying some very thin double-sided sticky tape to the other side of the fretboard radiusing block that I 3D printed, and then I'll stick on some, I think I used 150 sandpaper just to get the ball rolling. The fretboard was pretty worn, had some gouges, wasn't very straight, and the edges were very rounded, so I wanted to just square those off so that the new frets have got somewhere to seat. I keep checking my progress with another 3D printed tool, which is actually just one little section of the radiusing block, just to make sure that the radius is conforming to what I want. I also keep checking that the fretboard is staying level or becoming level. After that, I'm going to sand with some progressively finer sandpaper just by hand, just to get the scratches out of the fretboard and the inlays. And I think I ended up with 1000 sandpaper. Now I'm just cleaning the board with some fretboard oil, just to make sure that all the scratches are out and that the fretboard looks like new. And this is the end result. It's like a brand new fretboard. So now it comes time to clean the slots. I've got my little saw there that you'll see that I've just left the very last tooth of it, and that is just the right thickness to get inside there. And then I start from the one side, but I don't go all the way to the other side of the binding in case I loosen the binding. I don't want it to get caught there. The fret slots need to be absolutely clean. No bits of glue left behind, else the new fret won't seat. So here I'm coming from the other side now. I get right in there and I get all the last bits of wood, glue and whatever else might still be in there. Now I'm coming with my little triangular file. I'm just filing the very top of the fretboard, and this gives the glue somewhere to go and also helps to prevent tear out should it need a refret in the future. One final clean just to make sure there's nothing left inside. Here I'm just sorting the pre-cut frets that I bought in size order, just to make sure I've got the right sizes for the shape of the fretboard. These came pre-cut, as you see over there, slightly radiused. I will re-radius them just a little bit more before I put the frets in. This is how I've radiused the frets. They're slightly over radiused, and that helps the ends seat in, which I tap in first, and then I go through to the center and back to the sides. I use the feeler gauge just to make sure that there's no gaps. Once you've finished the whole fretboard, I'm now coming with my little straight edge, because I want to level the frets as little as possible to give the client as much life out of the frets as possible. So I try and get them as level as possible before I even do anything else, and that eliminates having to level the fretboard. In fact, this fretboard I didn't need to level, there were no high spots, but yeah, that's the way I do it. But most people will then go and level the fretboard and re-crown, but I try and avoid that. Here I'm just using a hand file just to get the bulk of the fret ends off. I have taped up the side of the fretboard so that I don't mark the finish. I'm going to refinish the neck anyway, but nevertheless. It takes a bit of time and patience, but eventually you will get there. Once I've done that, I'm coming out with my file. It's got a blunt end that runs along the fretboard, so I've got no fear of damaging it. And I like to approach it from this angle because then I can see exactly what it is that I'm doing. Some people go from the other angle, but this is my preferred method. I keep checking my work to see that there's a nice, even, smooth feel to all the frets. Here on a rubber block, I'm just with some 400 sandpaper, Just rounding off some more of whatever is left that I might have missed. And I do the frets as well at the same time, just to get rid of any scratches or hammer marks. Then I come with some 600 sandpaper and I go over all the frets as well as the edges. And finally, I'm going to polish with some steel wool. And here's the end results. Guys, please hit the like and subscribe if you like this video. Join us next time when we will be respraying the back and finishing off the guitar. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you soon.